confusion. You want everyone to have that. Let's keep going. Ephesians 4th chapter 29th verse. Let no corrupting talk come out of your mouth, but only such as is good for building up as it fits the occasion, that it may give grace to those who hear. See, that's the same thing that I'm coming back to. Every time I start doing the podcast, somebody wants to talk to me. And I really am not in a position to turn my phone off for business, but I still have my hour of power with you because I love you guys. So I'm going to keep on going. Let me keep going. Okay. So as I was saying before, be careful about people that sow discourse, they sow confusion, and they like to see it happening in the moment. We all know people like that. And those people I pray for because those people can't hurt you. If you know this is how they operate, they can't hurt you. You just keep on moving where you're going. Proverbs 18 chapter 19 verse. A brother who has been insulted is harder to win back than a walled city. And arguments separate people like the barred gates of a palace. So even if you live a beautiful life, so you think and you say you do, and you try to surround yourself with all the riches, but guess what? You're barred in the gates of the palace because you have nothing else after that. You have no personality. You have no real friends that really love you. You don't really know who loves you for what you have or what you can give them, nothing else. And then as your wealth leaves, your friends leave. But the ones who truly love you still, you may have distanced those people, but they love you from a distance. They don't dislike you. They just know who you are and how you are. So you have to understand when you insult your brother, when you insult your sister, when you insult your mother, when you insult your friends, when you insult people through life because you're in a position where you feel like you can, the same people you see on the way up, you see them on the way down. Because everything that goes up must come down. You got to think about that. So how are you with the gifts that God has given you? How are you? You know, sometimes people, they're not able to really deal with success and they become corrupted in their own success. So remember, when you become more and more successful, you have to continue to work on yourself of staying at a level where people will love you. And we'll talk about this later. We really, really will. I just love this podcast today. I mean, I really, 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 really worked on it. Proverbs 10 chapter 20 verse. The word of a good person are like pure silver. Put an evil person's thoughts are worth very little. So, like a person that really is about, loving people and doing the right things, they're just words pour out of their mouth like wealth, like money. But then you get an evil person and their thoughts, they're worthless. They're worth nothing because at some point they're completely devalued. And you say, oh, Lord, so-and-so is coming. Let me go. I got to go. And everybody starts running away. Then you have Proverbs, the 26th chapter, the 20th verse. Without wood, a fire will not go out. And without gossip, quarreling will stop. So it's about those seeds of dysfunction. If people are gossiping and they don't have anybody to talk to, people will stop fighting and arguing. And so you got to, if someone calls you up and say, girl, so-and-so said this about you, and you saying that to me to say what? What is that going to do? You coming and telling me, why are you coming and telling me this if you know I'm not going to be pleased to hear it? You don't need to come and tell me. Keep it to yourself. Just keep it to yourself because I don't want to know if it's not going to affect me and my family in some way and it's idle words that are meant to hurt my feelings. Just keep that to yourself. I'll figure it out. I already know where this person's coming from, but I haven't confronted them because it's not worth it. I don't need to get out of character. Let me just keep on moving. And I want you to keep on moving too. I want you to have more positive things to focus on rather than this because this is nothing. You see what I'm saying? So Proverbs the 11th chapter 17 verse, your own soul is nourished when you are kind, but you destroy yourself when you are cruel. See, whatever you do and you're cruel, it comes back to you. It literally comes back to you when you're cruel towards people. You've got people that have everything in the world, but they don't have love. You got people that they surround themselves with material things, but then they don't have anything of substance to go with it. No one that they can really share it with, because they don't really trust anybody, because they don't know whether somebody loves them for what they could do for them or not. Or at the point that they feel like that I have to pay someone to love me because I haven't been a very lovable person. So you have to ask yourself, how far have you gotten in life with the things that really matter in life? You can always have and build in life. Because when you are complete, which I'm going to get on to it in this podcast, and there's ways to get there. And I'm a student of my own game, and I'm learning, and that's why I'm sharing this with you. Let's get to the next one. Peter, 3rd chapter, 9th verse. Do not repay evil with evil or insult with insult. On the contrary, repay evil with a blessing, because to this you were called, so that you may inherit a blessing. So, and I'm going to talk about that with you later. When somebody's being this way to you, just keep going. You don't need to sit up there, this, that, because they want you to confront them so they can cuss you out some more. So don't even confront them. Just keep it moving and say, you know what? You know what? I wish you the best. Just keep it moving. You don't need to really say much. All you need to do is stay in your character and stay focused. That's all you really need to do. Don't be sidestepped by things that don't mean anything. Don't do it. No. Proverbs 16, chapter 20, verse 24 verse. Kind words are like honey, sweet to the soul and healthy to the body. I promise you, we're going to cover this one later. I promise you. But remember, your words sting like a stingray, or your words could be soothing to the soul like a symphony. You got to remember, your words have power. Matthew 15 chapter 18 verse. But what comes out of the mouth proceeds from the heart, and this defiles a person. Remember, speak from the heart. Speak from your heart and speak truth to it. Matthew 12th chapter 36 verse. I tell you, on the day of judgment, people will give account for every careless word they speak. And I promise you, we're going to cover that, because I just want to give validity to some of the things that I'm going to share with you, because trust and believe, on a deathbed, you relive your whole life. You relive it. And there's things that people say, and they're smiling and happy and talking, and you know that God is bringing them home. Then you got people that are screaming and in fear, and they're, I've seen it. Those people are actually giving an account for what they've done in life. And that's something I hope what I'm saying to you, some of you today, I hope it resonates. I really do. Okay, so the next one. Matthew 12th chapter 37th verse. For by your words you will be justified, and by your words you will be condemned. Remember that. You don't want to bear the cross. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. So that Matthew chapter 12, 36 and 37 verse, I'm going to read them together. I tell you, on the day of judgment, people will give every account for every careless word they speak. For by the words you will be justified, and by your words you will be condemned. So if you're just in your word, you're justified. If you're wicked in your words, you'll be condemned. So stay off the phone telling my girl, let me give you the latest news. Or girl, let me give you this. Or let me get you, this is the latest tea. There is no tea. Go get you a cup of tea and drink it. Get healthy. Detox your body. You understand what I'm saying? Take this tea and let this tea work for your immune system with flavonoids. That's the tea. Get into your own self. Take care of you. The next one, Colossians 3rd chapter, 8th verse. But now you must put them all away: anger, wrath, malice, slander, and obscene talk from your mouth. Get in the habit of saying things and doing things and living by example that will lift a person up rather than tear them down. When you want to get your point across, you don't have to hurt people to get your point across. You don't have to plot on people, because just their bare existence just sends you into an uproar, because you got your own set of demons. I'm not pressed anymore when people plot. I'm not pressed anymore when people talk. I'm not pressed because you know what? I know I haven't done anything to them, and those are their own demons. And for acceptance, do I really want to be accepted in your circle? I don't think so. Start operating like that and see how focused you become. While they're plotting, you're excelling. While they're plotting, you're building. While they're plotting, you're succeeding. And you're also building your family. You're building your legacy. You're building your faith. You're building your network of people. You are building. You are a builder of dreams at that point. You are building. I'm telling you, God has been just all over me this weekend, and I'm thankful. I'm thankful for it. I've just finally, after losing my sister, I feel alive, like I can exhale and breathe and understand. I feel good. Thank you for being here with me. James, 1st chapter, 26th verse. If anyone thinks he is religious and does not bridle his tongue but deceives his heart, this person's religion is worthless. So if you're one of the people that go to church and every single thing that you say, you've got a religious verse. Every conversation, you have a religious verse. But then when everybody turns their back, and under the cover of darkness, you on the phone talking about people, extramarital affairs, ripping people off, taking advantage of people, lying, deceiving, and doing all these things. I'm telling you, all your doings are going to come to the light. And you also going to have to bear the cross. The biggest, the cross that you're going to have to bear going to be bigger than you, because you use the Bible to get your way. That's the biggest cross that you're going to have to bear. Trust and believe me. So if you know the Bible backwards and forward, why not use it for what's right? If you know this, use it for what's right rather than using it for personal gain. Don't do that. You don't. That's the worst thing to do, because then you have people saying the worst people of all are people in the church. Not everybody. You can't group a whole group of people together, but you got people that just don't do right, whether they in church or out of church. You got people that just don't do right, won't do right. They just don't. And so those type of people, only thing you can do is pray for them. Don't even give it too much attention. Just pray for them. Okay. So also in James, the 3rd chapter, verse 3-6, when we put bits into the mouths of horses to make them obey us, we can turn the whole animal. Or take ships as an example. Although they are so large and are driven by strong winds, they are steered by very small rudder. Whenever the pilot, this steering, they're saying a very small rudder, wherever the pilot wants to go. Likewise, the tongue is a small part of the body, but it makes and it also boasts great. Consider what a great forest is set when a great forest is set on fire by a small spark. The tongue is also a fire, a world of evil among the parts of your body. It corrupts the whole body, sets the whole course of one's life on fire, and is itself set on fire by hell. So if you again are running through life and you're just really, really being corrupt with what you do, how you operate, what you say, what you do, sowing seeds of confusion. If you're doing all these things, sowing seeds of hate, you going to have to think about what's going to happen to you later in life. It would be bad for God to take everything from you and you go down to the lowest point of your life, or to have everything in life and really understand one day, I really don't have anything. I'm lonely. I'm afraid. I'm alone. It's hard because you got to figure out that tongue. What are you saying? What are you doing with this tongue? What are your actions like? Are you can't run around just insulting people, hurting people. We have to change as a people to be a better people, better towards each other, better towards one another. I mean, sometimes you could walk into a room, people will hate you just for coming in the room. And so some people will say, oh, they think they're this, or she thinks she's this, or he thinks they're this. The best thing that you can say, you think that, I don't think that, you think that. You're saying what you think, but your actions are showing me how you feel. But this is about yourself. Your actions are telling me how you feel about yourself. This has nothing to do with me because you've never taken a chance to get to know me. And that's how you have to treat those people. They don't really know me. They don't know who I am. And I don't need to prove who I am. Okay, because your validation in me is not requested, or nor is it desired, because I don't need that to become whole and be who I am. That's not going to turn me into who I need to be in life, because at the end of the day, there's only you're not God. You are not God. So at the end of the day, what you think about me is really what you think about yourself. And I feel sorry for you that you think that way, but that's your own cross to bear. It is. That's something we got to think about. Proverbs 29th chapter,